What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and I am so excited for today's video because today we are unboxing a set of sneakers which a lot of people, including myself, consider to be massive grails. But before we do that, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Farfetch. When you shop Farfetch, you're shopping pieces from luxury brands and boutiques all around the world, so no matter what you're looking for, you should be able to find it. I love Farfetch and I use it all the time, obviously to grab a lot of things like sneakers, like these off-white Nike Dunks and these Sakai waffles right back here, and actually also the shoes that we're unboxing in today's video, but also for other things like this Palm Angels sweatshirt. And I've got to say from personal experience that shipping is insanely fast. I just bought this from Italy like just 2 or 3 days ago and it just came in today, which is kind of insane. And not only that, but Farfetch has also given me a discount code to give to you guys, which gives you 10% off your order. The discount code is FFSF10, which stands for Farfetch Seth Fowler 10. And I've also linked all the items that I mentioned in today's video at the top of the description if you want to check any of them out. So make sure to check out Farfetch and use my discount code FFSF10 for 10% off your first order. But now I think it's time to get into the unboxing. The thing that we've all been waiting for, the thing which is a grail to a lot of people, and the thing that I kind of can't believe is actually in my house. And that thing is the Nike Air Jordan New Beginnings pack. This is crazy. This is so insane. This released at All-Star Weekend this year and includes 2 different sneakers, one of which is an Air Jordan 1 and one of which is a shoe that hasn't released since I think the 80s, and that's the Nike Airship PE. This pack contains so much history, it's crazy. And if you've been watching that Michael Jordan documentary that's been airing on ESPN, you understand just how important this pack was to the sneaker world in general. But before we actually jump into the pack itself, let's take a quick look at the box. So as you can tell by the sort of split color scheme with the box, it is a pack and it contains 2 different pairs of sneakers. The left side has a pair of Air Jordan 1s, hence the black and red color scheme, which is pretty similar to the Air Jordan 1 box. And then on the right side, you've got sort of a blueprint, which has the same sort of Air Jordan 1 box motif. And as this sort of color scheme or design would imply, the Airship PE was kind of the blueprint for the Air Jordan 1. As you can tell, the box is pretty large. It barely fits on my desk. You've got a handle on the front of the box right there. You've got the Air Jordan 1 side of the box on the left side and the Airship PE side on the right side. And unfortunately, as you can probably also see, this is not my size. It's a size 10.5 and not a size 9, which means that there won't be any on-foot shots in this video, which really sucks. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to have the pack. So why don't we jump into this box and find out how these sneakers look in person, because other than seeing them on people's feet at the Jordan Brand event in Chicago, I just haven't seen these in person. Here we go. Oh man. So inside the box, you've actually got dates. 1984 on the right side for the Airships, and then 1985 on the left side for the Air Jordan 1s. As you can see, you've got 2 different sides to the packaging. You've got the blueprint side for the Airships and the Jordan brand side with 23s, Jumpman, and Wings logos for the Jordan 1s. But why don't we start with the Airships, because that's a shoe that I have much less experience with. I was born in '92, so I wasn't even around for actually either of these shoes, but the Airship is one that I haven't even seen in person. So let's pop it out. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's so beautiful. Okay. Oh man, I wish these were my size. Let me put this box down on the ground for a second while we talk about the Airships. So this is the iconic Nike Airship. This is the shoe that Michael Jordan wore during his rookie year before there were any Air Jordans. To my knowledge, there has not been another Airship produced or retroed since the 80s. This is the first one in decades. And actually seeing this shoe and holding this shoe is so wild. Like I said, I was born in '92, so I really only caught the tail end of Michael Jordan's career, especially on the Bulls. And it's really cool to watch this documentary because you learn so much about Michael Jordan and what made him great and why he was the best player of all time. And it's just so crazy to be holding this shoe because of how much history was made in this shoe. Not only that, but this pack also resells for like $1,500 to $3,000 depending on the size you're going for, so it's both expensive and full of history. So something to note about this release is that this shoe is actually based on the PE that Michael Jordan wore and not the actual production version that came out in the 80s. And because of that, this shoe is cut a little bit lower than the production version to match the PE. And also, fun fact, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, but the Airship was actually the shoe that got banned by the NBA because of the black and red color scheme and not the Air Jordan 1. So the banned Jordans are not really a thing as much as they are kind of a nice story. It's actually the banned Airships, and I would love to see a banned colorway of the Airships come out. That would be crazy. That would be a shoe that I would definitely have to pick up. A really cool detail about this shoe is that if you look on the insole of the sneaker, there's actually this sticker. And what's so cool about this sticker is that it's actually sort of copied or taken from original Air Jordan samples. Something else that I learned about the Airship from just watching videos about the Airship on YouTube, because I was obsessed with this shoe for the last couple months, is that underneath this leather panel right here, you'll notice that there's actually a piece of elastic, which allows the shoe to bend forward or crease, you know, when you're running in it or walking in it or anything like that. And I wonder why they stopped doing that before they got to the Jordans. It seems like a detail that would make sense, but for whatever reason they stopped doing it, so I don't know. The Airship obviously comes with a set of white laces started in the bottom eyelet, but if you don't like these white laces, they also come with a set of red laces if you decide to switch them out. And speaking of red, the red that they use on this shoe is so vibrant and just looks so good, especially around the ankle area of the shoe. It's just this huge padded red leather panel, and I love it. If you move around to the back of the sneaker, you'll notice that you've got Nike Air printed in white. And then if you move to the bottom of the shoe, you'll notice that the outsole of the sneaker looks very similar, if not almost identical, to the Air Jordan 1's outsole. I mean, just all around, this shoe looks so similar to the Air Jordan 1, and it's so obvious where the Air Jordan 1's inspiration comes from. And as you guys know, the Air Jordan 1 is my favorite sneaker of all time, so to be holding the shoe that led to that sneaker is kind of surreal. But why don't we move on from the 1984 Airship PE to the next sneaker in the pack. So, the next sneaker inside the box is the one that I think most people are excited about, and that's because Jordan 1s are just insanely popular. And like I said, it's my favorite shoe of all time, so I'm definitely excited for this shoe. So why don't we pop the top and see what it looks like. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is crazy. So this is the Air Jordan 1 High OG 1985, and the reason it has 1985 at the end of its name is because this shoe is cut just like the original 1985 version of the shoe. If you've been following Air Jordan 1 releases for the last couple decades, you know that the overall shape of the silhouette has changed somewhat dramatically. And one of the things that makes this retro in particular so special is that it goes back to the original cut. The back of the shoe is pretty much a straight up and down line versus that sort of curve that you have on the newer Jordan 1s. The toe box is shaped slightly differently. It's not as tall or as bulky as the Air Jordan 1's toe box currently, and it also seems to be a slightly more narrow shoe. But what I love most about the New Beginnings Air Jordan 1 Retro is that this colorway is actually based on one of Michael Jordan's PEs. And one of the main differences is this ankle area. Usually this area is black and not white, but on this particular PE, the entire shoe that wasn't red was actually white. This leather actually feels pretty decent as well. It's pretty soft. I'm actually really impressed. Inside the shoe, you've got a red sock liner with some white text on the medial side. Also on the insole of the shoe, you have that same sample sticker or PE sticker right there on top of the Nike Air logo on the insole, which I think is a really nice touch. But not only that, this shoe also comes with a tag that looks just like the original tag and has all the Air Jordan 1 tech specs actually written out inside it, which I think is absolutely incredible. This is such a cool detail. The shoe comes with the red lace to match the red leather upper started in the bottom eyelet, but if you don't like that look, you can always switch them out for the white laces that are included. The colorway on this shoe is just so clean, just the simple red and white. It looks so good, it's crazy. You've got a white tongue with the white tag with the Nike Air logo embroidered in red. The shape of the midsole is also slightly different from newer Air Jordan 1s. It's a little bit more curvaceous and also a little bit thinner. And as we saw with the Airships, you've got this beautiful bright red Air Jordan 1 outsole. I've got to say that as a Michael Jordan fan and as a sneaker fan in general, it's crazy to be seeing this Nike Airship PE in person, a shoe that I never thought I would see in person, and also this PE Air Jordan 1 in the original 85 cut. This pack was done so well. It's absolutely incredible. It's just total fan service and I love it. And I think Jordan Brand knocked it out of the park with this one. I really do. I think they killed it. This pack was first revealed last year when it was gifted to a few influential fans of the Airship PE. And at that time, no one knew when the pack was going to release or how extremely limited this pack would actually be. However, when All-Star Weekend 2020 came around and it became very obvious that this shoe was only really releasing in Chicago and in insanely limited numbers, people started to realize how much this shoe was actually going to go for. As of right now, the resale price of the New Beginnings pack hovers between $1,500 and $2,500 to $3,000. And to be completely honest, I bet you this pack is going to get even more expensive as the months go by. So if you missed out on the Air Jordan New Beginnings pack, you're definitely going to have to pay resale. And the real question is, are you willing to pay that much for a pack of sneakers? And if you are, might as well grab them from Farfetch.com. In like the 2 months that this pack has been available, it's already hit Grail status, and I think people will be lusting after this pack for years to come. But now I would love to know your thoughts on the Air Jordan New Beginnings pack and whether you were able to grab one of these insanely limited packs for yourself. So let me know in the comment section down below. Once again, make sure to check out Farfetch for yourself through the links in the top of the description and use my code FFSF10 for 10% off your first purchase. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.